Welcome back to another video on the Nortex Mining YouTube channel. This one's going to be a doozy. This one is going to be mostly my opinion here, or pretty much all my opinion. So appreciate you guys clicking on the video. Thanks for being here. If you like Helium content, if you like mining content in general, I'm going to be getting into some more other types of mining. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if this kind of stuff interests you. So today we are on the topic of HIP 70 once again. Um, and I am voting no on this, guys. I know a lot of people are on Twitter, on trying to be vocal about, voting yes and Solana's great and this and that. And so, I did some more research into Solana and trying to figure out why everybody is so hyped about it. Um, so one of the founders, or I guess this co-founder dude, Anatoly, he's always kind of, check out realtps.net, check it out, guys. I mean, we're on there. Um, as I guess this is impartial. I don't really know who runs this. It's on GitHub, so hopefully it's open source. But um, yeah, so it kind of shows you here the transactions per second on every network. Almost. I'm not seeing Algorand here. So I'm not really sure where theirs is at, but um, as far as Solana, I mean, yeah, the transactions per second are pretty high, and I mean are probably going to continue to be high because that's its purpose, right? That's what they've chosen to build around. So, real quick, I mean, I think I can best sum up why I'm going to vote no with this picture right here. This is the scalability trilemma, made famous, I think, by Vitalik. Or, I mean, it's probably been a problem long before Vitalik, but I think he has kind of expressed a good way to look at this, and that's why I'm here showing this to you, right? So, of the three things, you can likely choose two, but you can't really get all three if you want to be really great here. You can't. It just hasn't happened yet technologically and you know implementation wise. It just hasn't happened yet. So Bitcoin and ETH obviously are taking the decentralized and secure aspects, and this is where you know the majority of the projects that I see long term moving forward and having tremendous value are these two, decentralized and secure. What Solana has done has gone completely in favor of scalability, in favor of decentralization. So Solana would be on this side of the trilemma, right? Sure, it's secure. The computational and dollar wise cost of a Solana validator is incredibly high. I mean, right? No Joe Schmo off the streets would be able to run a Solana validator. It's that complicated, that expensive, and just not very easy to get into. So, um, going to the Solana network upgrades, I mean, yeah, the what you've seen online, I'd imagine by this point is for the most part true but without context. Yes, there's been outages. No, it has not been for the majority of the time. They've usually gotten them fixed in like a day or so. The most recent updates here look like this QUIC, which is meant to prevent kind of like this DDoS type of outage, which was basically bots or spammers were just basically spamming the blockchain so much so that it was just so much volume that the chain went down. Which obviously, if you're a high TPS chain, you don't really want that to happen, right? So obviously there's a ton of technical details behind this that I'm glossing over, but that's basically what this is for, to um, kind of address that abusive behavior, um, for spamming or just kind of trying to drive so much traffic through that it brings the chain down. Um, Stake weighted quality of service, again, kind of going towards validators, and I don't want to get into how exactly um, that helps, but sure, we'll give it to them. Great, stake weighted quality of service. Fee markets, another one. I think there's another aspect of this where um, you can choose to pay an increased transaction fee, um, but also what they've gone ahead and included here. Yeah, see, so this is offering users the ability to specify an additional fee to be collected upon the execution of the transaction. So you can pay more to get your transaction um, potentially prioritized here, right? Is what it looks like. Um, and then there is some sort of localization in the fee markets to where if or hang on, am I getting that mixed up? Yeah, I think so. Um, yeah, so this what I covered here, right? So the ability to specify an additional fee is, I think, where this ends. I don't want to get that other thing confused. So, um, they've been doing what they can to kind of, mitigate further outages. They have some community updates, validator health reports. The other frequent criticism is that there's no really like transparency reports um, for these guys, and I mean, I couldn't really find those things either. There's community updates. There's um, actually, let's go to this validator health report, see what's here. So it does look like they have some report here for download. Let's see where this goes. Okay, so this report here opens up this thing and looks like a health report here for August 2022. Gives a little bit about the Solana Foundation, validator health, total count, bit of an overview. Okay, so here we go. They are claiming 3,400 validators, including over 1,900 consensus nodes. Okay, so that seems to be on an upward trajectory, at least from a year ago. Quite large. Nakamoto coefficient, if you don't know, this is kind of a way to measure, or the higher the number, the harder it is to tamper or do nefarious things, censor, or override what the proof of stake algorithm is trying to do, consensus mechanism is trying to do. So they're saying their Nakamoto efficient is up to 31. Right, so the lowest number of validators that would have to collude to censor the network is 31. Okay, let's see. Yeah, right, so pretty low for all these other ones. With the merge coming up, obviously Ethereum, well, even without the merge coming up, I mean, Ethereum's not on here probably because they've got way more. The Nakamoto coefficient is probably a lot higher, so they've excluded that. Interesting. Okay. And then geographic distribution too. Looks like Germany, the US, and quite a few other European countries. France, Great Britain, Netherlands, Finland. Okay. Um. So yeah, I mean, it seems like they are trying to do what they can to um improve, I guess, on decentralization. I still think this is worrisome. I mean, there was this other, just all the stories I think are worrisome in that if someone wants to, this is, other people could be making decisions here that um, may not be what's in the best interest of decentralization, I think. And I don't know about you guys, but the way the world is going, um, I definitely think decentralization is super important. Um, whether you think it's more important than scalability on a blockchain is kind of, I guess, the debate here, in my eyes. Um, just selling out completely and going for scalability over decentralization, I think, is the main reason why I'm voting no on this. I can't vote yes on this. I totally understand that the back end architecture needs work, and you need to take some of these transactions off the blockchain onto oracles. That's fine. That's great. I think that's phenomenal. But I don't think Solana's the answer. I don't know what the answer is, and honestly, I think Helium is the answer. The Helium layer 1 blockchain should continue, and I think the core devs should forge on, keep on going. Um, I know it takes up a good bit of time, but again, which chain we move to isn't really important. Okay, well then why don't we stay with our own chain? Obviously these two need to happen. This specific part, I don't think does. Um, I mean, I know it's going to take time, but everything takes time. Moving this transition, this is going to take a lot of time. So freeing up core devs time to actually work on the network, as has been the party line from everybody at Nova Labs and their Solana supporters, this is going to take a long time still. So why not put that time and effort into improving the layer 1 blockchain and moving these oracles off and keeping the architecture somewhat similar to what it is, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it is just uh, the way I kind of do things, or whatever. But I mean, it feels like you're hitching the helium wagon to another wagon, so the risk is going up instantly. Now it's kind of dependent on, or kind of a startup dependent on a startup. I still think this is a startup dependent on another startup. So it's moving away from the projects that I think are the future, and honestly it feels like a bandwagon jump. And I think the guys who are the loudest, or the people who are the loudest about this on Twitter and on socials, everybody's either got huge Solana bags or Solana maxis or whatever. I mean, there was not really anybody kind of in the middle on this, and it just seems all very biased and all very done deal to me. So that doesn't really sit right with me. Again, I think I'm just more of a, you build your team and you build everything as you go. You don't jump to a bandwagon because now they have Kevin Durant or LeBron James or whatever. I mean, if you're Kevin Durant and you went from the Thunder to the Warriors, or if you're LeBron James and you went from the Cavs to the Heat, that's why I don't like those players. That's why I don't like that, man. It's never really sat right with me. I understand why people want to do it because it gets easier to win championships, and maybe the core devs here think, hey, this is going to be the road to championships here if we team up with Solana. And I just I don't like the Heat. I don't like the Warriors. I don't, you know, just not fans. And again, here, I'm not a fan of Solana. So, uh, and I'm not a fan of Solana because I don't really think they're a great Web3 project, and primarily because they've traded off decentralization for scalability. I think you start with these two and you build towards scalability, not you start with scalability and you build towards decentralization. But that's basically where I'm coming from, guys. If any of this made sense, I mean, all these other articles. I mean, I can link stuff in the description, but that's basically where I'm coming from. It's a lot of stuff that sounds good, but I don't know. And then who knows? I'm primarily putting this on the channel so that I can look back in some years and see, hey, was I right about this? Was I wrong about this? I mean, with all the funding that Solana has, they're probably going to make it through the bear market and through the next bear market. And, we'll see what happens after that. The only really saving grace, I think, has been that the core devs have stated, well, if this turns out to be the wrong decision after 5 years, we have the blockchain state information that we can kind of migrate somewhere else. So maybe that's in the future if this doesn't work out. But yeah, I mean, this is it for now. I'm, like I said, voting no on this HIP, and we'll see if it passes. And if it passes, it passes. I'm not going to stop supporting the Helium project. I'm not going to stop mining. I'm not going to, unplug and sell all my miners or anything like that. I'm still obviously going to keep mining because the miners at this point are either paid off or soon to be paid off. So yeah, to me it doesn't make sense to unplug completely, because this is still the only decentralized wireless project that has kind of made it this far, and I think can keep going. So we'll see what happens with the vote. Again, keep doing your own research, keep reading around, keep figuring out how you want to vote. I'm not trying to get you to vote one way or the other. I do hope that you vote. Let your voice be heard. But this is not a you should vote no video. This is just a, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I think. And we'll look back on this in a year, 2, 5, whatever, down the road and see if I made the right decision, or, see if the core devs made the right decision ultimately. I mean, again, sounds like this thing is kind of a done deal. So we'll see how the vote plays out. And until then, keep your costs low, keep your spirits high. We'll make it through this bear market. Keep on mining, y'all. I'll see y'all in the next one.